welcome back to my channel. It's Horseman Quinn, and today we're going to do a little bit like an update because I have been having very weird, like kind of a weird couple past months. So one's sad, one's happy, one's strange, and one's a bit upsetting. So let's dive in. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications and like this video because I need it. I just need it. So yes, so let's get started. So I'm doing an update for one reason, because you guys are just being like put about in all different places, and I do not want that. So please carry on watching, because this might be a different video than normal, but you will know where I am at everything and just understand my life a bit better. So I stopped filming, go right back, before Christmas. So I stopped filming for a while, for at least about a month or so. And that was because we had a couple problems with General. If you didn't know, General's my pony. So General he cut open his eye. He cut open his left eye, I think, so this is your right. So yeah, he cut open that eye. He also, how he done it was, we don't know in particular, because it was that kind of day, we woke up a bit late and we got there, and then General decided he loves his salt lick so much that he licked it until it cracked, and then it broke. Yes, it broke. So then there was a little sharp bit, and we think he was like getting a bit fussy, as obviously he didn't have any hay. And okay, yes, this is our fault. This is probably our fault, because he didn't have any hay. He got really irritated and started using the salt lick as his hay. So he threw his salt lick about, which cut his eye open. So the sharpness when it broke. So yeah, we think that's how he done it. And then we walked in, and obviously I was at home at the time, as my grandma leaves early sometimes. Yeah, so I was at home at the time, and I was like, we got a call from the owner. I hope he's okay. So yes. Then I obviously didn't want to film his eye. Obviously, I love taking you guys on a journey with us, but some things just need to be kept a little bit in me, just because, I didn't want his eye had to have stitches. It was so bad. I just didn't want you guys to see the state, especially of you younger ones. I didn't want you to see that on the camera. So yeah, I stopped kind of filming then. I just kept on doing little bits and bobs, but I stopped kind of filming then. And then he went lame, so I couldn't really do any videos anyway. Sorry if I'm rocking, it's just the chair. Then we don't know why he went lame. He just went lame one day. And then, obviously, he was 23 at the moment, at that moment, which is pretty old. And then it was his birthday. So he celebrated that when he was lame, and I couldn't ride him, which is very sad. And then he nearly healed up his eye. Nearly. And it just ended so badly. Because he got colic. And obviously he's had a bit of rumbling colic before. And if you don't know what colic is, it's kind of like us having the flu, really bad flu. But it's for horses. And obviously they can't vomit. So it's all in them. And they just gets really irritating for them. So my granddad went in one morning and he saw General like that, and we were like, oh no, I could nearly ride him again. He was just getting his last checkup today, and then I could have ridden him tomorrow. So yeah, that all went really wrong. It's because he was box rest, so he had to stay in his box for at least 6 weeks, which he was very lucky. He didn't have to stay in there for a longer time. But yeah, so yeah. And then we had that, which we got really upset. And if you didn't know, General's a lone pony. So he was my first kind of proper pony. So I got him when I was about 7. So I've had him for 3-4 years. So at that time, and this was 5th. It was a Saturday, and it was on the 5th. Around in between 10 and 3, in between the 10th and the 3rd of December, So we knew it was getting close to Christmas, and it just got really annoying at the end because obviously we had to call the owner if it was okay to take General to the hospital. This is another funny story. General fell over. Well, it's not funny, but it was quite intense but funny at the same time. So General fell over as obviously he was pain, and we thought he was gone. I was like, no, I can't look. So I walked away. So I was like, I just can't. I physically just can't. So my grandma was holding him, and General pushed my grandma down, just nudged her down, not physically pushed. He just nudged her down with his nose, and then he stood back up. And I walked in, and he stood back up. I was like, General, you're killing me. So he was like, look, your grandma fell over, not me. I'm fine. Definitely didn't just fall over. And I was like, that was quite funny, but we thought he was gonna go then. So anyway, we told the owner that. I'm not going to say the owner's name because just personalised stuff. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, so we told, the owner, if he went in a box, if he fell in the trailer, and it was an hour drive to the actual hospital, big veterinary hospital. So yeah, it took about an hour to get there. And at the time, I was my stomach hurt, I felt sick, I just hated it. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, we're back. I just had to chat with someone, it was a bit important. So anyway, where were we? So yeah, General. So we drove him to the hospital. I didn't like it, but you had to, General, didn't you? We put the tray down, we got him off. He was fine. No signs at all. But so we got him there, they examined him, they said, yeah, he has got something. So they sent his bloods off to get checked. And obviously the bloods came back after it all. As they take a couple of days. So yeah, we took him on a Saturday. And they're like, we're going to keep him here. As we chucked him in the stable and he's showing signs of colicking. So we'll keep him in here. And obviously, I'm not tearing up right now. I'm pretty surprised about that. I've just had to talk about it so much. I'm just used to it. So yeah, anyway, we put him in. We put him in, and we were I was taking pictures. I was like, this might be our last time, General. Oh no. I was like, yeah, it might be. I didn't know. So we overspent a couple £1,000 on surgery. But we either put it sensible and said, look, he's 24. He's old. He's not going to live forever. He will change. He might have to be retired. And also that money is going to be for another horse. So he either takes surgery for General, he'll live for a couple weeks longer, but then I won't have any more money for a horse. So we had to just look at it, as much as we love General and the pain and just all of it for General, just we had to just choose sensible, because I obviously wanted him to live, but I didn't want him to be in pain. I didn't want him to be put to sleep. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want any of it to happen. I just wished we went into the past. Make sure we went there the right time in the day. Gave him some food. Didn't get his eye cut. Then he might have got lame, but then didn't get colic. And I was like, just look, okay? And then we were like, okay. The vet said, if we call you tonight, that's bad news. If we don't, it's good news. Well, better news. So we didn't get a call through the night. We went home, I gave him a kiss, and a last cuddle, just say, I love you, General. I'll always be with you. Anyway, so we went home. I was worried I couldn't sleep all night. Anyway, they called in the morning. We had the high hopes up, and then they called in the morning and said, look, he's been colicking overnight. It wasn't urgent enough to call you, but he's been colicking overnight. We either take risk surgery which surgery can make you more prone to colic or not, the horse. So we have to take surgery, which ditches my new horse money, so I won't have a horse. Or we rest him. So we put him to sleep. We put him down. So we chose just put him down because the pain he's in, if I wanted to go and see him, that'd be an hour pain for him extra. So we were like, just look. We were all crying. We were just like, just look. We'll just put him down. Just put him down, please. He's in a lot of pain. He's not enjoying it. I'd love to see him, but he is in a lot of pain. So anyway, that happened. And then we had Christmas. It was okay. It was okay. And then, so like a month later, so we've obviously been looking for horses, and we found a Welsh, lots stories behind. She was grey. She was around 7.5, so she was a rescue, so around 7.5. 43, so pretty big. But we kind of wanted an upstep from 13.2, so I just feel like just an upstep will be a bit bigger as like I'll grow into it and stuff, like I did with General. So I just need to retrace my steps. So we obviously looked at the big cob, and oh my god, I'll put a little picture up there, right there, just ta-da! So yeah, that was her. But that picture there, down there, she was humongous. So anyway, I've ridden her a couple times. I had a lesson with my instructor, Polly. So big shout out to Polly. She's doing my riding. Very nice. So yeah, just lots of things. We've been going really great. My instructor Polly, I'll just say Polly. Polly put up a big jump for me. Just like at least, well, it wasn't that big at all. It was about 70. But if it was sorry, if it couldn't jump, it wouldn't be able to get its back legs over that jump, and it would knock it down. We tried, got her back legs over perfectly, couldn't go any wrong. Her name was Ghost, by the way. So we had one lesson. Polly approved. My dad was a bit like, we want a show jumping horse, not like a dressage horse. Obviously, I'm not. Welsh cobs can jump, Welshes can jump, General jump 95, 80, 95. We wouldn't put him any higher, but he done it. So, and he was a Welsh, section C, section C, so he could do it. So we kind of knew that, I feel like, because 13.2 is our max, like if we went any higher, I don't think a Welsh could get over it. So they're just bigger and bigger. Like the more they get higher, the more rounder they get, and like the Welshes. And I'm just like, obviously, you put me with a horse, I'll get it. Even if it's like a thoroughbred, like a really sassy, mature thoroughbred, I'll get it. Even if I don't like the horse, I will fall in love with the horse and get it. So my dad just had to go all around and like talk to my grandma and just say, and my granddad just say, like, look, it's not the right one. We want a speedy one that can go up and down jumps and just do it all like that. And she hasn't been really trained at all. So my dad was like, we want Polly to train me. We don't want Polly to train me and the horse. We want the horse to know what it's doing and just train me to do it. And then the horse will go, oh, we're doing this. Okay, let's do that. Not, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I got to try and do that and think about me as well. So, yeah, my dad was like, I just don't want to do it because, like, we want the right horse. So anyway, my grandma went to Australia's, like, a bit of my family's over there. So my grandma went on a vacation in January. And I rode. So everyone approved it. We bought the horse 2 days before I rode it again. And then I rode it as it was like a 5-minute drive away from us, and we had to make a deal, like if I bought it, we would pay for the couple weeks livery so it stayed there, just because it was full livery there, so it was really easy when my grandma and granddad was away, and obviously my dad's working and my mum's not horsey, so we just had to think of a way, and we just decided to pay the livery there for the time being. So anyway, I went back there and rode it, and I jumped. So we done a couple courses. We went over a jump, and it definitely didn't do a rotational fall. That was really loud. So I went over the jump, and the pony, pretend this is the jump, this pole, and the pony went over, and this is the front feet, and it just flipped. And luckily, I'm so thankful that it fell on its shoulder. Can I get a horse? Just a slight horse. Hang on, let me just find this random slight horse. So anyway, it went over a jump and it flipped on the floor and went over that way. But I went over the other way. But because the horse landed like that, it was like that, but it went round. So I was really thankful. I'll just put you there, Ronnie. I was really thankful for that. I could have died, to be honest. It's half a ton, nearly a ton horse, weight-wise. So I was so thankful. But my leg got caught under the thingamajig, under the saddle and under her, and she rolled on it, which cracked it. Well. It peeled it. So when I got down, obviously when I was in the air, I kind of thought I was jumping as I just went like that. So I was thinking I was jumping. When I hit the ground, I just went whee along the side. I was like, my first reaction was to try and move. It's like I didn't know if her butt was still in the air, so my reaction was to move quickly when I hit the ground. That's the first thing I did. But I tried to get up and I could not, so I just shuffled myself along the ground. And I was screaming. I was like, my leg. And Ghost got her front foot stuck in the reins, so my dad quickly sorted the horse out first, horses come first apparently. So yeah, my dad sorted out the reins and then came over to me and was like, calm down, just go on your back and breathe, just breathe. And I was like, why didn't you get a video of that, Dad? My dad videos everything. But he didn't video that. Of course he didn't. If he videoed it, it'd have been fine, nothing would have happened. So anyway, yeah, I was in pain, and my dad was trying to lead the horse and hop me, as I couldn't walk, so I was hopping. I was like, Dad, can I just get on the horse? He was like, yeah, go on then. It shows my confidence. So I just got back on the horse and I just rode Ghost in, and I knew it wasn't Ghost's fault because she's not trained enough to be able to do what I just did with her. It was about 60 jump, so I was keeping it quite low, but I still went for the oomph. But yeah. So anyway, we untapped Ghost. My dad quickly rushed. I had my long, nice black boots on, and I was like, my leg was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the pain. Oh, I was just like, Dad, can I take my boot off? He was like, no, keep it on just so the weight kind of stays in a bit, so we don't want it to overflow too much. Keep my blood anywhere else, not just my foot. So yeah, we kept it on. We drove back just 10 minutes away, so luckily it wasn't that far. And my dad was like, my first thing I said when I fall, I don't want to go to A&E. The weight, a couple of days later, the weight was 18-hour weights and 8-hour weights and 2-hour weight. I was just like, I don't want to do it. Pardon me. But anyway, we got home. My dad was like, we need to go to A&E. We need to. So we drove to A&E. My dad's girlfriend very kindly came and said, do you want me to drive you there? So, yeah. So we went there. we were so lucky. We went in, they're like, oh, see you in a minute. 10 minutes sat in there, they're like, call me in. I was like, oh, okay, this is quite luxury. There was other people like waiting there for hours and hours. But I got seen first and I was the last one to come in. I was a bit like, I feel quite sad, but I'm glad I didn't have to wait. So we went in, I was like, they were like, what hurts most? I was like, my leg hurts most. And you could see, it was a big purple balloon. It was horrible. So anyway, they checked me, they did an x-ray. And then they called me back in and got the plaster out. My dad was like, Quinn, I think you're going to have a plaster. I was like, it used to be my dream to have a plaster. It's like, I don't know what it was. Like, I feel like that's like everyone. Like, when they're a kid, they kind of want to break something. But ever since that, not for me. But at that time, I wasn't really thinking I couldn't ride again. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't thinking about that. So anyway, they were like, so my bone, it just peeled, like just a little bit of the bone peeled off like a banana. Just think of the banana. It just peeled like that. And I was like, it was like a really small fracture, thankfully. So anyway, yeah, so I was in a half cast for 3 days. So I done it on the Friday, so I had Saturday and Sunday. And then like the specialists look at it, like digging really deep, like I think it was like 70% more than what the doctors can see on their computers. So the specialists looked into it. Obviously they didn't work on weekend and weeks. So they looked into it and said, yeah, it is a fracture. So then I went back on the Wednesday morning after Friday, so Friday to Wednesday. They went back and they're like, we're going to give you a boot, but you will still have your crutches. And the pain, I can still remember what that pain felt like. It was painful. So yeah, I'm so sorry guys, this is probably a really boring video for you. So anyway, yeah, so that happened. So I was on crutches then, and I went to school and everyone was like, how do you do it? How do I do it? I was like, explaining, like, what are rotational forwards? Like, non-equestrian people just, oh. It was stressful. Very stressful. Anyway, all that happened, and it was my birthday, and I was on crutches. It was my birthday. It was on the 21st of January, and I broke it like on the 15th, and I was devastated. Anyway, so I was on the boot for like 6-7 weeks, and then it wasn't too bad actually, and then I got off of it. I started walking just with the boot, and then that was about 7 weeks, and then I could walk again. But guys, if you see me have a limp, I definitely know how to walk. So anyway, yeah. So Ghost was obviously out of work for ages. Because obviously we bought Ghost, we couldn't turn back then. So yeah, so we bought Ghost. My grandma came back, I FaceTimed her and she was and I showed her my broken foot. And she went, no. I went, yeah. She went, no, you haven't just done that, have you? I went, yeah. She went, no, you haven't. It's a joke. I went, no. Seriously, like I tapped my cast. I just went to my cast and it made like a rock sound. She's like, oh, okay. I was like, you could have paid for it a couple of days later, and then we went and bought this horse. Anyway, or just not bought the horse. Anyway, after my full recovery, 7 weeks later, I rode Ghost to the school. Where we go. And yeah, she was fresh. So, I skipped a big part. In my 7-week recovery, she jumped out of the fence in the field, jumped a hedge, jumped barbed wire, and her rug scraped along the barbed wire and got her caught. So we were like really dangerously worried. We got a call from someone as they were doing building work over there, but we don't think the building work scared her because the building work, she ran to the building work, not away from the building work, like the noises, so we kind of had an idea it wasn't that. So one of the builders said, one of your horses escaped, quickly come. So the owner came, we looked round, I was like, oh no, she's gone, isn't she? I was really sad, I was like, she gone? Then we heard clip-clops coming through the road, and the grey horse has turned red. All her back leg was cut open. I was just like, oh. Luckily, it was all artificial, so we didn't have to, like, stitch it or anything. But there was just loads of cuts down her leg, a bit along her belly, just all over in her, like, half of her backside was red. We were like, oh, God. And her rug was actually torn. Like, I went for a dog walk the other day and I found the bit of missing rug. I found it stuck to barbed wire. So yeah, the funny thing was, we went up to the field. Nothing had been moved. All you could see on the floor was skid marks. She jumped the fence. She didn't like skid into it, slide into it. She jumped it. So we were debating that she couldn't jump, and she just jumped a hedge, barbed wire, well, just about barbed wire, and a fence. So anyway, we ended up getting 4-foot fencing. So while I was recovering, she was recovering. After her recovery, and my recovery. After my recovery, she kind of healed up anyway, which was good. So I started riding her in the school. She was very fresh. Then she had to have box rest. My life ain't going very well. It's not very being lucky, is it? So we went to ride in the school. And it's a 20 by 40 school. So it's a bit of... Right, this is really annoying me. So it's a bit of a school... I can't talk today. It's a bit of a small school. So, yeah. So anyway, I was really nervous to get back on her. So it was like my first ever ride, kind of, back in the stirrups, saddle and reins. And her head couldn't go higher. It was like as tall as a giraffe. Like, she was like, oh my God, where am I? Look at me, everybody. I'm just like being so nice and lucky and spooky right now. So I cantered round. I walked round in one rein. I was really nervous. My dad said, just think you're doing a show, and he made me stop at G on the floor. If you don't know what that is, it's like a letter on the floor. It's not an actual letter on the floor. It's what you think the letters on the floor is. So yeah, we stopped at G and we halted, half halted. And I went. And my dad was like, come on, get in the trot, get in the canter. So I cantered around one rein, and the owner saw it, and she was like, that was really good for your first time again riding. I actually have a little video up there. So yeah, anyway, my grandma didn't video the scary part. So my life ain't going very well. So I went round, she spooked it a bang, as it was like hard work banging, and she spooked at it. Guys, if you don't know what that is, it's just pink, by the way. She went round and she spooked, so she she's in a straight line, and she went, whoa, and then she vum, and she went up the side of the school, like the quarter of the school, because we were already like more than halfway up, and I was in trot as well. Luckily, I was on encounter. She just went vroom up the school and spun and what's it called? It's not bolting. It's not bucking. It's the mixture of them. Yeah, so she was doing that. So she's like boing, 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 boing. She was like dun 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 dun. Sorry about that noise. It's my watch. So yeah, and I was nervous. My grandma was like, sit back, hold your reins, heels down. Obviously, she was devastatingly nervous because I just broke my ankle on her. I got back on her and stuff. So yeah, and finally Ghost stopped. I was like, oh, thank God. I didn't fall off. I stayed on. I haven't fallen off since yet. So yeah, that happened. And I was just a bit nervous to canter her at the end. I was nervous to get on her at first and then canter her in the end. So yeah, that went on. So I haven't ridden her since. So I'm really thankful for Scarlett. So, you know, who Scarlett is on my channel if you didn't watch. And Scarlett is so nice. She just let me, she has 2 horses, so she let me borrow one and we went on hacks and stuff. So I've been riding then. So yes. Yeah. And now we are putting Ghost in Stell's livery because she broke my ankle, she done a bolted buckaroo me, and she's just not the right horse. So anyway, we are viewing a new horse, so we're kind of in the middle of that at the moment, so I'll get you updated on what's happening with her. Susie. Susie is a chestnut. She is 14-1, Dutch warm blood cross New Forest, so she's 13 years old, so I'm really excited. I've ridden her once, and we're just in the middle of that. So we might not. So yeah. But yeah, thank you. That's general back there, by the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please smack that sub button, the like button, and both of them combined. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, like I just said, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone.